Going to start off with Twisters, man. And Twisters is an action-adventure film directed by Lee Isaac Chung. I think he also did Minari, so it's kind of interesting that, always interesting when these Oscar contenders or winners, go from, these kind of, wildly critically acclaimed films to then jumping into the action realm, with something like this. And in this film, haunted by a devastating encounter with a tornado, Kate Cooper gets lured back to the open plains by her friend Javi to test a groundbreaking new tracking system. She soon crosses paths with Tyler Owens, a charming but reckless social media superstar who thrives on posting his storm-chasing adventures. As storm season intensifies, Kate, Tyler, and their competing teams find themselves in a fight for their lives as multiple systems converge over central Oklahoma. In this cast, we've got Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar-Jones. She plays our Kate Cooper in this film, pretty much the main character. We also get Anthony Ramos, Sasha Lane, and Tunde Adebipe, supporting characters. And I saw this one, and for the most part, it's enjoyable. It's kind of interesting, if you ask me, is it as good as the first Twisters? And I would say it probably is, because I don't hold the first Twisters in that high of a regard. I think it was a good genre film that was boosted by the cast that it had at the time. We had Bill Paxton in that, Helen Hunt. What's my man? Was that he passed away, man. William H. Macy. Yeah, Bill Paxton, but also Macy was in that, I think. Not Macy. What's the bad guy from Mission Impossible 3? Oh man.
Just say
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah. So
he was with Bill Macy and Boogie Nights, by the way.
Yeah, that film had everybody, man. This is one of those films that just the convergence of the cast was just crazy. Yeah. But for this film, man, I think it did a serviceable job. You get the action, which looks as good as ever now with the effects we have, today compared to back then. And I think also the original Twister was a film that kind of was playing around and boosting up, what we were doing with special effects at the time. And this is no different. But I think what is interesting here is the addition of what's his name? Glenn Powell. His character is really cool, man. It is playing on that trope where, a lot of films nowadays, we got these internet characters that are based off of internet influencers. And it's one of them things too where there's more to his character than is, revealed initially. And I think it's kind of a cool twist that they put on him and his background, to boost it up and keep me a little bit more interested, in the premise, man. But it's pretty much just like the original. It's just a different group of characters. And this character, she's trying to do research. They're trying to be able to ultimately stop a tornado, if they can, before it gets, dangerous. Because this is Tornado Alley, and the setup is this, they kind of show, I don't think this is going to spoil the movie, but in the very beginning, something happens to her team where, based on a judgment call from her team gets wiped out. She's the lone survivor. And then later on, somebody with some money, one of her friends, that was with her in that time, he comes around and like, look, I have a chance. We've got funding. Let's continue the research, And then they bump into this other character and it goes from there, man. But it's an enjoyable time, It's also one, like, if you didn't see it in the theater, you definitely get the benefit of the surround sound and all that stuff. But I don't think you have to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's doing okay. It's doing, pretty well for itself. But if you wait for home, then that'll be fine too. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you're going to miss anything. But,
one of the things about me and tornadoes, I was actually in a tornado once. It's not a good feeling. I wasn't in a rush to go and see those ones, but I'm thinking about probably buying it when it's on physical media or renting it, or I can't. Well, I guess rent it on iTunes or whatever. But yeah. You're like the only reason. I guess.
Yeah. Because when it came out, there was nothing else out. When I saw it, and like I said, I had a decent enough time with it. It didn't break the mold or anything as far as disaster films, but I don't think it was terrible. Like I said, and the human, well, Powell, he definitely elevated it. Because Encore, she's okay, and her group of buddies are okay, but when he shows up, it just kicks this thing into a higher gear.